thing is, when I decide I want to make the video, I want to make the video. And then once the camera is in front of me, I no longer want to make the video. But sometimes I look at the video I made in January and I think if I was brave enough to film a video when I hated my hair that much, I can do anything. I'm not a performer, apparently, or maybe I've just never said anything interesting in my whole life. But the reason I wanted to make the video in the first place was because I was in the mood for a challenge. So I'm a performer, apparently, and I have to say interesting things. I was really busy with work for several weeks, and then on top of that, I was invited to audition for an orchestra, at which point I had definitely bitten off more than I could chew. And then when it was over, when I'd gotten into the orchestra and I'd seen the work project through, I thought, I'm in the mood for a challenge. I'm going to make a video every day for a week, which is a pretty wild thing to think after a couple plenty challenging weeks. I did note that, but I think it's a sign of how the times have changed. The self has changed. Once upon a time, a small Arthi was depressed and she would bite off more than she could chew because being overworked distracted her from being depressed. And that's no longer the case. For now. I have a lot more bandwidth for interesting times to begin with, where 5 years ago that was not the case. I was always on thin ice and there was no such thing as a small upset to the routine. And now when I get too busy, my self-care and feeling of agency don't get deprioritized, which is helped by the fact that I have those things now. And it definitely does help to work because I want to, or at least because I have to, and not because I feel like if I don't work, I will die. Hard times are still hard, obviously, but I come out of it feeling like myself. And that's a relatively new thing, and it's something I can't believe when I think about how much work used to be a desperate distraction from psychic pain. And my life looks largely the same. I do the same things, I love the same things. I bet I'm equally busy, maybe a little bit less. What's going on internally just makes a world of difference. It's everything. All that to say, when those couple particularly challenging weeks were done, I thought, I'm in the mood for a challenge. Maybe as a reward for being able to work so hard without falling apart, which isn't the healthiest thing in the world, I don't think. I didn't do it. I was in St. Louis with my family. I rested. I went back to the normal level of busy, which, to be clear, busyness is not some kind of virtue, but I do like to be busy. But now it's been 2 weeks since then, and I still want to make the video. After 8 years of not being able to upload consistently, I still like to make videos, at least until the camera's turned on and pointed at me. So I'm doing it. Not 7 videos in 7 days, but 1 video right now. I think sometimes when I'm far too busy, the problem isn't a lack of rest, but a lack of control. Nearly everyone does need to rest more, and everyone else should, simply on principle, because what if we felt satisfied and worthy just with being? But sometimes I feel like it's worth going out instead of staying in, or staying up an extra half hour to meditate when I need the sleep, or having a drink even though tomorrow is a long day. Because more than rest, I want to feel like my life is still mine. It's not defined by the schedule, the work, the fact that I have to send an audition video by a certain date. It's defined by the things that sustain and fulfill me the most, by me, even though most of my time is taken up by not those things at the moment. Which is maybe why after a busy time, my mind thinks, I want a challenge, I want to make a video. Because it's just for me. No one can make me, no one wants me to, no one cares if I do. It's not even something I'm good at, it's not a skill I'm developing, it's just like pure creative energy for no reason. It's just for me, and I did have a good time.